Hey everyone, I'm Ian Douglas, the author of the website techinterview.guide. I do live streams every Sunday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern about topics relevant to interview preparation for the tech industry. I occasionally record longer Q&A sessions, and I've started to break those into smaller videos to post. And there'll be information at the end of this video about how to get in contact with me if you have additional questions. Let's get to it. Next one on my list, how do I ask a company for feedback? You just straight up ask them for feedback. I generally wouldn't do it during the interview. I think asking them during the interview, like, hey, how's my progress been through the interview so far? Would you hire me? That's going to be difficult to answer, and most of them won't answer that question directly because they're still kind of collecting data. They usually get together as a team once everybody's finished talking to you to kind of figure out, do they want to hire you or not? Do they want to make an offer? And so they generally won't give you feedback on the spot. You may be able to ask, like, if you're working on a tech challenge or something, you could say, this is the best I could do. Do you happen to see any room for optimization or something that I could have built in there? They may tell you a little bit here or there. But generally, they're probably not going to give you too much feedback. But once the interview is over and you send the thank you message, because I highly recommend you always send a little note of gratitude, thanking them for their time and the effort of going through and interviewing you. And if you can get the contact information from the people that actually interviewed you and send them all individual messages, I think it shows good character personally. I think that when you send that feedback, I would probably ask the recruiter, like, hey, would it be possible for you to collect feedback to share back with me? Aileen Lerner from interviewing.io actually did a study with her team where they surveyed a bunch of companies because there's kind of this myth in the tech industry that if a company gives you feedback, they're going to get sued. And I think there might have been a case for that, like back in the day, where someone was felt like they were slighted or that they were discriminated against or something like that. And so a lot of companies are like, you know what, we're just not going to give anybody any feedback. But then as an applicant, how are you going to get better if you're not told what you didn't do well? And so I think that you can certainly ask the company for feedback. I think you can certainly say, like, hey, were there things that I could have done better? Or do you have any notes? Like, could you collect some notes from your team? We had Aaron Mullenix and Spencer Allen on the stream on Thursday, and both of them talked at length about, I love actually sitting down and compiling that feedback and helping somebody understand what they did well and what they could improve on. I think that that's rare in the tech industry. And so if you can find a company willing to give that feedback, again, it kind of goes back to that respect thing that we talked about earlier. It shows that they're really respectful of your time as well. And those kinds of companies are gold. And those are the kinds of companies you want to stay in contact with and maybe reapply in the future. If they're willing to give you that feedback, that's fantastic. Not every company will. Some companies, when you email them and ask for that feedback or ask for any notes on things that you could improve if you were to reapply in the future, some of them just won't give you any feedback at all. I would say email them again in a week or two and say, hey, I'm still here. I'm still curious about getting that feedback. Bug them till they tell you to go away. That's kind of what I would say. Bug them till they say no. That's where. Hey, thanks for watching. I love helping people out with interview prep, and I hope this video helped you in some way. If you found this Q&A useful, please consider subscribing. You can follow me on Twitch as well for the live stream twice a week. Check out techinterview.guide/streaming for more information. I also have a daily email series that you can subscribe to on the website. There are never any ads, and when you finish the series, I scrub your information out of my database permanently. Finally, if you have a question that you'd like answered on the stream, you can find my contact info on techinterview.guide. I prefer LinkedIn or email. If you leave your question in a YouTube comment, it might take me longer to find it, but I'll see you next time.